Hello guys, welcome to this video. Now I've got a gorgeous red GMT mod to share with you today, and this was custom made for a client over in the US. He ordered this watch from me a couple of weeks ago after he actually ordered a couple more as well in the past. So thanks to Omar over in the US for trusting me again. This one was so unique and different, I really wanted to share it with you all on YouTube though as well. So here's a quick overview of the watch design we came up with. This uses some choice parts from DLW Watches, from Watch and Style, and it all comes together in this lovely red GMT ceramic package that's not commonly seen because some of these parts are really new to the market. Now, I'm Simon, I make custom watches here in Dubai. You can follow my work at Svkwatches.ae. That's on Instagram, my own website, where you can look at my store for any currently available models. And of course, you can reach out to me directly to order your own custom-made designs as well. I have recently updated my Instagram to at Svkwatches.ae as well. All the links will be in the description. And yes, thank you for watching. I'm going to dive into the review of this one and show you a few more details. And over on the left, we'll start with a little compilation of some of the videos. I usually send these to my clients as well when I make watches for them. These are the build steps. So obviously we assembled the required parts here. I will show you where I got some of those parts as we go. We also looked at, firstly, putting that lovely dial together. This is a Seiko, an original Seiko Presage dial in this deep red fluted design, and there's nothing else like it. This isn't usually a watch for a dive style watch or even a GMT, so I did have to modify the dial to get those the central hole big enough to fit over the NH34 automatic movement. We also added some LX hands. In the case side of things, we added a 24-hour GMT brushed chapter ring into an SKX style case. We cased it all up, we added the bezel, and we've actually got a clear case back on this one as well. Now I'll come back to the bezel later because there's something special about it. And finally, on an oyster bracelet, this watch really works. So let's zoom right in and see in a bit more detail some of these parts on the live watch. So firstly, we've got that gorgeous dial. For me, the dial is really the heart and soul of the watch. It's often the hardest, most expensive part to find, but for an all red design, you can just see in the reflections, I've got lots of lights on here. You'll see over on the left what it looks like in the daylight as well outside. And of course, the red isn't going to be the same on the dial as it is on the bezel because these are two different materials. And while we're on the bezel, this bezel insert is from DLW Watches in Singapore. Some of the best quality bezel inserts come from there. And more recently, they've added a red selection of ceramic inserts. Now, if you've been modding watches for a while, or even if you look on big manufacturer name catalogs, you will rarely see red ceramic used at a reasonable price because for some reason red is really hard to get in ceramic, or the right shade of red in ceramic. DLW managed it, and this is a really nice red. It's not pink, it's not orange or violet or anything else. It is actually a good muted red color that you can use with a range of designs, and it does match this dial design really nicely as well. The handset, we went for a LX style handset. I can show you there is some lume on this watch, but it is just the hands themselves, no markers or bezel markers either in this case. But for the style of watch, which is a bit of a dressy GMT, it is of course fine, and those hands really glow. The case and hands come from Watch and Style. I ended up using an actual SKX bezel here as well, and I will show you now that clicking action, which is addictive. If you've never tried an SKX bezel, a good one like this, you will be addicted to turning it just because of those clicks are so satisfying. And though it's a unidirectional dive bezel, really, it is helpful for if you do want to set a third time zone or a second time zone perhaps more quickly on your watch, you can do it with this rotating bezel. Just a quick overview of how the watch works. We have a crown which is screwed down at 4 in the classic SKX case. We can set the time by pulling it fully out. Okay, and then once we're happy, you can also pull it to the middle position where going clockwise will quick set the GMT hand, so you can track a second time zone, and that hand goes round once a day rather than twice a day like the standard hour. The minutes remain unchanged, so you can set up a second time zone. For example, if it's just coming up to 4 p.m. here, we can set it to a local GMT readout, which would be about there. So just coming up to 16. And as we go around the dial, this one will look like it's lagging behind, but it's actually going to meet at 12 midnight as well. The other direction on that same position lets you quick set the date. And this is why I love this movement. It's so simple, easy to use. It's not a true GMT movement, but for the price point of these watches, I think that is a really useful complication and quite a neat way to do it. Taking it off the stand then, let's zoom back out and have a look at the rest of the case. So it's an SKX case, it's 42 diameter or 42.5 officially, but I would say these watches typically wear like a 41. Camera has a habit of making it look bigger than it is, and I do have very large wrists at 7 3/4 inches, so I'll show you this on my wrist in a moment. We've got underneath a clear case back where you can see the undecorated MH34 movement. So I always enjoy, even if it's an undecorated movement, to keep a clear sapphire case back on there. Oh, and I didn't mention the crystal here is sapphire. It's a double dome sapphire. The total thickness here is around 14.8, I believe, millimeters. So it's not a thin watch, but honestly on the wrist, the way Seiko designed the SKX case with these nice sweeps, it does a great job of hiding its thickness, and it does feel very well put together and very solid, especially on this solid oyster bracelet where you've got 3 links, a row of 3 links, solid end links here. The bracelet is from Watch and Style. It comes unsigned, which I prefer. Nice milled clasp and really nice quality. So finally, let's get it on the wrist. I've sized this to a slightly larger than average size. I might want to loosen it a little bit if I was keeping it for myself, which I might have to. I might have to make another one of these for myself, but that is a gorgeous, gorgeous red dial watch. Not often that you see a red dial and bezel watch together, so I thought this is a brilliant example of a custom-made watch that is truly unique. I guarantee this is the only one of its kind in the world right now, and I'm sure my client Omar will be very happy with it once he receives it in about a week's time. So guys, do me a favor, please follow my new Instagram. I still have the old stand, but my new Instagram is at Svkwatches.ae, the same as my website. My email as well is info@Svkwatches.ae. There will be some great new content on the way, including some collaboration projects with some of my favorite brands for Seiko Mod Parts. So stay tuned. And hopefully you enjoyed this video, and thanks a lot for your support. Have a great day.